family, coming back at it with another live. We're back at it. This time, we're doing a story time. Okay, we haven't done a story time yet. This story time is going to consist of the first time I got shaboinked. First time I ever got faded, bro. Like the first time ever. So we're gonna wait until a couple of people get in. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna see. So we'll see what's up. But I was talking about on my last live, on how easy it is. Hold up. And like, sorry, my shit was fucking all fucked up. But on like how easy it is and how accessible it is to literally get gas to your doorstep, bro. It's so easy to do it. I don't even think YouTube understands how easy it is for anyone, anywhere to get gas to their door. You know what I mean? It's so easy, bro. It's so easy. It's not even like mind-boggling anymore how easy it is, bro. It's like it's dead ass so easy. It's so easy now. Like everyone's so hesitant to buy hemp packs, but like if you know, you know. You know what I mean? Like if you know, you know. Like if you really know, then you know. If you don't know, then you're just stuck. You're stuck, bro. You're never going to be able to get any of those packs to your door ever. Ever, because you want to know why? Because you're scared to order them because you think that they're booth packs. But they're not booth packs. They're not booth packs. They're dead ass like gas packs. You know what I mean? Like it's just that some people don't really like put the noggin, you know, like they're really not thinking. Like I've seen them on like YouTube and shit and and like Instagram and all that shit, all on my new stuff. And like I'll see it everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. So some people just don't understand, like there's definitely more ways for people to acquire to buy packs online. Like if they didn't know. Like if they really didn't know. What's up? Whoever's online, we're doing a story time on the first time that we got high. But we're waiting for a couple more people. So if you want to wait, that's cool. But we're over here taking some bong rips. So if you wanted to indulge and take some bong rips with me, you sure as hell can. Make sure you stay communicated so I know who's in here, so I can make sure that I can shout you out on my live. But Raider, what's up, bro? But yeah, so we're definitely gonna figure out the story time, the first time that we ever got faded. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We got 2 people in here. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys stay tuned and wait. We're going to be taking bong rips. So if you guys are going to be smoking with me, go ahead and do that. Let me know what you're smoking on first of all. If you guys are smoking on, if you guys are smoking on carts, bud, oil, dabs, I don't really give a fuck. You could literally be fucking taking dabs out of your ass crack, bro, and I don't give a fuck, bro. As long as you're getting zooted, bro, I really don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But all right, so we got 8 people up in here right now. I appreciate you guys. This is the story time of me getting high for the first time, and I'm going to tell you it step by step. I was in my last video on my last live, and I was describing how did I get high for the first time. Okay? This is what happened. I was in middle school. All right, I was in middle school. I was picking up from this boy. What's up, bro? I was picking up from one of my boys. He was in the high school. I was in the middle school, okay? And I was hitting him up on my little tiny iPad. You know, like the little iPads that had little cameras on them, the bitches that were like fucking like this small. They were like that small. This is my daughter's phone, by the way. But they were like this small, those small ass iPods. iPads, iPods, whatever the fuck. I hit him up on Snapchat on one of those. I was like, "Yo, bro, let me get a little this, that, and that. You know, a little bit of scratch and sniff. You know what I mean? Like, let me get some gas. You know." And he hit me up, bro. This man's gave me gas like that was probably like the size of two of these things. Like, bro, if I was to take two of these together, all right, and put this in a bag, what's up? Yeah. But if you put two of these in a bag, okay, like it wasn't that much bud for someone who knew what bud was, okay? Cuz like I started smoking when I was the age of like 10 or 11 years old. Like I can't really even fucking tell you because like it's been so long. I'm 24 now. Okay? I'm grown. I'm 24 now with a 5-year-old daughter. You know what I mean? So like I'm a father. You know what I mean? Like I have my own stuff, you know? Yeah, damn unk. Fuck. But, you know, so I just be doing me, but like so I hit him up and I was like, "Listen, I need some gas, you know, like hit me up with some gas." This guy gave me about this much worth of gas, bro. Like it was like this and that old school trap fucking sandwich bag material. I hope you're okay now though. Who the fuck is this? I'm crying. Yeah, dude, we're good now. I don't fucking know. I didn't say anything bad that I wasn't okay. But yeah, so he gave me like this much worth of stuff. And it was just like it wasn't even like that much. So like it really like it was just weird. It was just weird. And when he did give me all that bud, bro, I literally went home, sat on the couch. Whoever just joined, I'm talking about the first time I ever smoked bud. But we had like 8 people up in here. They just dipped. But we went back home, chilled. I had like a one hitter. If you guys don't know what a one hitter is, it's like a tiny, 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 tiny little fucking thing that looks like a cigarette, but it's not a cigarette, but it carries a one hit inside of it. That's why it's called a one hit. But he just keeps going and leaving. It's my funny. But it's called a one hit. And like you literally would just put one hit of weed in it, and then after that you would just be good. You know, you'd be cool. You know, one hit. You know, one hit, one done, you know? And so we would just have that. And it wasn't with anybody else. It was just me. I was just smoking by myself. So I was outside, out on the deck, having a good ass time, you know, just feeling the vibe. You know what I mean? I had my music on. I was probably listening to some fucking Lil Wayne or some Daddy Yankee or someone else, bro. I was probably listening to The Game. Who knows, bro? I don't even know. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, I don't know. Who knows? But fucking I put the button inside of the one hitter, and then after that, I hit it. And if you guys have ever experienced like taking a lot of edibles, like a lot of edibles, I mean a lot of edibles. I don't mean like 500. No, I don't mean like 100. Like a little bit of like that. Like I don't mean that. Like 50 milligrams, 100 milligrams. I don't mean that. Because I know people that got faded off of a 5 milligram edible, bro. And I would look at them and I would be like, dude, what do you do to get this high? I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to be like you. So like how do I do that? how do I get as faded as you? You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to get as faded as you are. You know what I mean? But yeah, so once we did that, I fucking took my hit. I took my hit, and then after that, dude, I just felt the most biggest rush, the biggest rush of like gravity pushed me down. Like if I was like this and then everything went like that. You know what I mean? Like I just instantly was like straight up and then instantly just went down, you know? And I felt so gone, so high. It was unbelievable, bro. Like I actually thought that I was going to die. Like I had a panic attack, but bro, like as an 11-year-old boy, bro, like you're not you're not really thinking like, "Oh, I'm just tweaking. Let me thug it out." Like, no, that's not what I was thinking, bro. I was like, I'm dead as hell. I'm dead as hell, bro. Like, I'm gone just because I wanted to smoke this green plant. You know what I mean? I'm gone. You know what I mean? And now, like, now that I really think about it, it was just really funny, bro. It was really funny. I fucking I called my grandma, dude, because at the time I was at my grandma's house, and I called her and I was like, "Yo, I am not feeling good. This, that, and that." You know what I mean? I didn't want her to be disappointed, so I didn't tell her at first, like, "Hey, I got some weed and I smoked it at your house." Like, no, I would have felt really bad if she got upset. You know, I would have felt bad. Um, So at first I was like being stupid as hell. I was like, "Yo, I picked this up off the floor and I swallowed it." And she was like, "Why would you do that? Why would you do that?" And so I was just like, "Well, you know, it 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 looked like candy, bro." She knew I wasn't that stupid. She knew I wasn't that stupid. I was just plain stupid cuz I didn't want her to be disappointed. You know what I mean? Like I didn't care if she was like upset. I was more concerned about her being disappointed. You know, that hits different. If you guys know, if you ever had the type of parent that looks at you and they're like, "I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed." And then they walk away, bro. That hits so much more than them just being like, "No phone for a month." Like they don't do anything. They don't do anything. Like you're expecting them to do something like tragic, bro. They don't do anything. All that they do is just tell them how they feel, bro, and that hits so much more, bro. That hits so much more. So it's like, yeah, no. It's definitely didn't want to tell her. I was just like, "Yeah, no, I swallowed something, this, that, and that." And she was like, "Well, throw it up. Throw it up." So that's what I did. I threw it up. I literally made myself throw up. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't disappoint my grandmother. You know what I mean? Because like I knew she wasn't gonna snitch on me. I that's not the whole reason why. I wasn't worried about her telling my mom. You know what I mean? That was the least of my worries. It was just her being disappointed. That was the whole reason why. So, like, I just kept throwing up, and then I just thought, I was just like in my head, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna tell her, bro. Just me throwing up in this toilet is not doing it, bro. Me throwing up inside this toilet to convince someone that I didn't smoke weed is crazy as fuck. So I was just like, all right, let me just tell her. So I was just like, all right, I smoked weed. And her whole demeanor, her whole thing, her whole everything else went from 100 all the way to like 5%. 5%. because she was a doctor. So she's like, what kind of pill was it? This, that, and that. Da, 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 you know, da, 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 you know. So she was in doctor fight like mode. You know what I mean? Fight or flight mode. So I just told her that, and she went like, oh, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be good. You're fine. You know what I mean? You're just like, you're just tweaking. You know what I mean? She's like, you're just too high. You're too high. And I'm over here on the phone, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, how do you even? I'm over here like, how do you even know what that is? Like, how do you even know what that is? And bro, like, as a 10 or 11-year-old kid, bro, you're not really thinking like, oh yeah, you know, my grandmother was definitely a fucking smoking. You know what I mean? She was definitely smoking it up back then. You're like, no, I wasn't thinking that at all. Not at all, bro. I was dead ass just like, what? How how do you know what being too high is? You know what I mean? Like, I'm over here really, really, really putting the pieces to the puzzle together. I'm really trying to fit everything in the same spot. Um, so I was just like, what the fuck? So so I kept I was just like, yeah, I smoked out of a one hitter and this, that, and that. And she's like, oh, you're gonna be fine, bro. She's like, you're gonna be fine. And this is my grandma. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? What do you mean I'm gonna be fine? How do you know I'm gonna be fine? And I was just like baffled. I was baffled. I was just like, huh? And I was like, how do you know I'm gonna be okay? And she was like, sweetie, listen. If all that you did was smoke weed, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. If there's nothing in it, you're gonna be fine. And I was just like, okay. And I was like, how do you know that? And she's like, I've been around since like the fucking 70s, bro. Like the 60s or the 70s, I think. Because my grandmother's like 63, I think. Damn, you know what I mean? It's like, damn. Like that's crazy. You know, that's really crazy. That's really crazy. Like being like in that, like being like 63 years old, and you're like, oh yeah, you're gonna be fine. But she like, dude, weed back then, bro, was like the most mid weed, bro. It was the most mid Reggie Nedgy weed you could ever fucking put your lips on. Pause. You know what I mean, bro? Like that's the most like I used to know a grower, right? And this is going to be a whole other story time. But I used to know a grower, and this motherfucker was in his 60s. Okay? He was in his 60s, and this guy was fucking insane. He used to, like, grow for us. You know what I mean? Like, we did a little bit of a deal with him. You know what I mean? And he would grow for us and shit. But, dude, this guy would smoke our weed. Our weed, like the gas, not like the homegrown stuff, you know what I mean? Like some of the dispensaries are growing some really good stuff, you know. Like I smoke dispensary, but like, you know, no shame in the game. But it's just like the way he was smoking that shit is like he was like hitting it like a vape. He would have the joint and then he would be like like, dude, he would breathe a whole lung in one rip. And that shit would canoe so bad. It would canoe so bad because who's smoking weed like that? Who's smoking weed like who's doing that, bro? I understand if you're at the roach and you're trying to get every last bit that you can. I understand that. I understand that 150%. Okay? I understand that. But when you have a full J, when you have a full damn J, you are not supposed to be sucking that thing down like a goddamn milkshake, bro. You are not supposed to do that. That is a big no-no. That's a big fucking no-no. You're not supposed to do that. You know what I mean? Like, that just doesn't make sense. That's like if I had a hash hole and I grabbed it and I just lit it and started going. What is that gonna do, dude? Oh, that's just gonna mess up shit. That's just gonna mess up everything. That's gonna mess up the smoke. That's gonna mess up your experience. You wasted your money, bro. I remember going into the dispensary where I got that hash hole, and the guy was like, "How did it smoke?" And I was like, "Bro, it smoked lovely. It smoked so damn good." And he went up to me and he was like, "Really?" Some like one guy that comes in here and he like blows like $300 every fucking time, every 2 weeks. And he comes in here. He bought 2 of those and he said that they both burnt like ass. And he told me, and he was like, he had to like sparked it wrong. I was like, yeah, bro, when you have a hash hole, you literally grab that shit, right? You have it like this, right? You grab that shit and you tap it against the flame and you kiss it, bro. You kiss that fucking thing on there. You don't just go, oh yeah, oh yeah, that shit's ass. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna burn a hash hole like fucking this, and I'm just gonna you fucking spark it up and think it's gonna smoke good. Like no, 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 no. That's never gonna happen to you, bro. Whoever this GNAB guy who keeps coming into my chat and keeps leaving, bro, just don't come in, bro. Just skedaddle. It's all good, bro. It's all good. We don't need your view. It's okay. Thank you though. I appreciate it, bro. You know what I mean? Thank you. I appreciated the view that you gave me in the first part. But dude, it was just like insane. Like you buying 2 of those hash holes, but that hash hole cost me $125, $130. You know what I mean? You bought 2 of them and you fucked both of them up. That's how you know that you're just a person with money and you just don't know how to smoke weed. Like, how do you not know how to smoke weed? That's concerning, bro. You should probably like go on YouTube and figure that shit out. You know what I mean? Like how to properly burn a fucking joint. How to properly burn a blunt. How to properly burn a hash hole. You know what I mean? How to properly burn a Cangar. You know what I mean? Like, I'll pull some shit out of my pocket sometimes. Like, bro, I'll pull this out of my pocket, right? This is a Slugger's hash and diamonds inside here, okay? It's a 1.5 joint, infused joint, okay? I'd pull this shit out of my pocket, and it's nothing crazy, bro. It just has, like, all the regular shit in there, the hashes inside there, and everything else. But I'll see people, and they'll look at it, and they'll spark it up like a regular joint, and I'll just be like, bro, I never want to smoke with you again. I never want to smoke with you again. Because, bro, who the fuck lights shit up like that? Like a menace, bro. That's how a menace smokes, bro. A menace? Oh, my God, bro. I have another story time about a menace, bro. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I have so many story times, bro. About my jobs. Oh, my God, dude. I have so many story times, bro. And I hope those people are watching. Oh, my gosh, bro. Because that shit will just make me smile so hard deep inside.